When you're looking for sofa fabrics, sometimes that can be kind of overwhelming because of all the choices that are out there. In this video, I'm going to share with you what to think of when you are looking for a fabric so that it's easier for you. Hi everyone, it's Carol from Discover Interior Design, and I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome to part 3 of my series on how to select a sofa, and in this video, you're going to learn all about fabric quality and also how to choose a color for your sofa. So let's get started. When we're talking about fabrics for a sofa or a chair, for instance, anything that has padding in it or, cushions, we're usually calling those types of fabrics upholstery fabrics. So what is an upholstery fabric? Well, normally an upholstery fabric can be thought of as a fabric that is heavier and maybe more densely woven, and it's just usually more sturdy and durable. So when you're looking for a sofa, most likely you'll find upholstery fabrics. Yes, you could use a fabric, say, that you use on your window draperies. That's a little bit lighter weight. But what you would probably have to do is to line or back that fabric so that it can be more durable and be used on a sofa or a chair. So when you're looking for upholstery fabrics for your sofa, you want to think about the color of the fabric. But before you even think about that, think about the durability, because the last thing that you want to do is choose a color of fabric that you really love, but then it doesn't last very long. So just keep that in mind when you're out and about looking for fabrics, to look at the durability first. When you are looking for how durable you want a fabric, I want you to keep in mind your lifestyle and what's important to you. Do you want something that's going to be super easy to clean, or that the covers are removable and you can wash them in the washing machine, or do they need to be dry cleaned? Do you need to make sure that it's stain resistant or easy to wipe spills? Do you want to make sure that it doesn't fade from being in front of a window and getting sun on the fabric? Or is it important to you to have some fabrics that are made, at least in part, with recyclable materials? Or do you want to make sure that the fabric that you're using on your sofa came from a factory where they have low emission levels? So think about what's important to you when you're choosing the durability of your fabric. What I always recommend doing is looking for a fabric that has some durability to it, whether that's going to be a very formal sofa or a more informal sofa. One way to go is to choose a fabric that's a blend, meaning that it has a blend of both synthetic fabrics as well as maybe some natural fabrics. That way you can have that look and feel of a natural fabric, say of wool or of linen, but you have the durability of a synthetic fabric like nylon or polyester to help make that fabric even more durable. Or the other direction to go would be to choose a fabric that's made of 100% synthetic materials, and that will provide even more durability. So lots of times when there's more durability of a fabric, the higher durability, the more expensive that's going to be. But that in the long run is going to help you have a sofa that will last a long time. So after you've narrowed down your choices of some fabrics that are going to meet your requirements for durability and for your lifestyle, then you can think about color. So when you want to decide on a color or even a pattern for your sofa, I want you to think about visual weight. And visual weight has to do with how much something is grabbing our attention. And one way that different elements in a room, say a sofa for instance, grabs our attention is through the size of that piece. And a sofa is a large piece of furniture. And right away, that's going to grab our attention a lot, just because it's a larger piece of furniture. So when you're choosing a color, think about if you want to emphasize the visual weight that a sofa naturally has, or if you want to kind of de-emphasize it and soften that a little bit. So one direction is if you really want to have that sofa grab your attention and really emphasize the visual weight of that sofa. And that would be to choose a fabric color that is different than maybe other colors in your room, or that contrasts with other colors in your room. And when we're thinking about contrast, that can have to do with lightness and darkness. So even if you have a room that's painted white, choosing a sofa in a darker color will contrast against that light colored wall and will really stand out. Or it can be in a color that's related to other colors in the room, related to your chair colors or your area rug colors. But it's a different lightness or darkness, or maybe a darker or lighter version of a color that you're already using. So that could be a neutral color or even a color itself. And then the other way to go is if you just want to soften things a little bit. You don't want to have as much contrast or have as much attention drawn to your sofa. You want your sofa to be part of a seating arrangement where there is some contrast going on, but all of that contrast is a more subtle transition from lighter to darker. So that's where you could bring in a color, but maybe it's a color that's related to the chairs, or maybe it's bringing in a darker or lighter version of a neutral color. They're all kind of in this range of lightness to darkness, and there isn't this big contrast between light and dark. It's just a softer transition. And I think it's great if you want to choose a sofa in a really fun color. And if that's a color that you love and that's going to make sense to you. Or choosing a neutral color is a good way to go, because then that way it goes with everything. But what I would do is just make sure that your sofa is at least a little darker or a little bit lighter. It's a little bit different than your chairs or other things that are happening in the room, so that there is some variety and at the same time some cohesiveness. I think what I would avoid is choosing a set of furniture where the sofa and the chairs are all the same fabric, all of the same color. I think it just starts to get kind of boring and kind of blah. So that's where, when you choose a sofa, choose it in a lighter or darker version of a color that you're already using, or a completely different color. So I'd love to find out from you if you have any other ideas of what to look for in upholstery fabric for a sofa. So please share your design ideas and suggestions in the comments. And please watch parts 1 and 2 of this video series, How to Select a Sofa, that talk about how to figure out a sofa size as well as what to look for in quality. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.